Y'all, Kofa. Yes, I know the camera's at a different angle. Yes, I know you're looking up. You don't have to look up my nose, but yes, I know the camera's at a different angle. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. I was going to talk about Shannon and all that. Y'all drop a salute in the chat if you would, please. Let me know that y'all are hearing me loud and clear. In fact, while I light my cigar, because I'm not going to sit up here and cap. I told y'all I'm the realest one on YouTube. Your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. And I'm kind of in my feels today. So we're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to smoke my cigar. Y'all going to sip or smoke whatever you're doing or run or exercise. We just going to have a conversation tonight. I appreciate that Felicia is always in the building. I appreciate it, sis. Again, don't have my stream deck out here because, let me see. BT says, should I call Cole? What happened? Let me see. Let me run through the lineup. Peace, Malika. I appreciate you, brother, being in here. Peace, Sister Felicia, as always, for the support. Everybody speaking. I love you guys speaking. Let me keep scrolling. BT, did you call me? I got a notice, but I wasn't sure if it was right before the show or like right before me and you had talked earlier. Hold on, let me see. Everybody having a conversation. I love to see it. What did I miss? Oh, Almond Eyes in the building. She says, hey, y'all, what's going on, sis? I appreciate you being in here. DRX, salute to you, good brother. I love to see everybody speaking in general. Sister Felicia gave me a salute, letting me know that I'm coming through loud and clear. I don't know. Is BT still in here? He said, should I call Kofa? I don't know what I did or did not do to warrant a phone call. But I had to come here. Please said, what am I smoking tonight? GTO painkiller right there. This one is actually a pretty fairly priced cigar, Felicia. Kind of strong if you're a beginner, but again, it's pretty good. TJ in the building, he says, salute Kofa, FYI. I hate the police. Paul, I'm assuming that's what it is. I hate the police. I get it. I assume you're talking about the video where the brother was punched in the face, dragged out of the car. We can talk about that if y'all want to. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. Let me explain why the camera is different. I didn't feel like lugging all the equipment down here tonight, so I'm actually using my phone as a camera. I was going to talk about the Shannon Sharp, but everybody has talked about that, beat that to death. And then, as you know, Malcolm-Jamal Warner passed yesterday unexpectedly due to an accidental drowning. And that kind of was like a gut punch to me. I'm not saying I followed the brother's career like that, but for those that don't know, he had a podcast called N-A-H, Not All Hood. And ours truly, Brother BT,
got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Was a guest on that podcast not too long ago. And when me and BT did, when I went on there and told the story about my son on BT's Wins and Lessons, we filmed in the same studio. BT used the same studio that they filmed Not All Hood in. So I was like, damn, I'm probably going to end up running into, Malcolm-Jamal Warner one time, at least once. So I was hopeful for that. I actually saw the brother at the Cigar Lounge last year around the corner called Stanley's. And, we spoke, but I didn't tell him thank you for being a part of that, that wholesome black family look in the 80s that so many people give pushback about and say, isn't real black culture. But I had two successful parents, two parents that worked. So I wanted to thank him for that because the pushback they were getting for the show is what I was getting in real life. Uh, Felicia says, no beginner here. I only smoke full body cigars. Salute to you, sis. I gotta add my you go girl to my to my keyboard, but you go girl. TJ says, yeah, man, that was a gut punch like a bitch. And the thing about it, I'm scrolling today and I literally changed my mind within the last 2 hours about doing this live stream about Shannon Sharpe and his situation. We could talk about it. But again, y'all drop stuff in the chat that y'all want me to talk about. But I changed my mind the last couple of hours because as I'm scrolling throughout the day, work was pretty light today. It's nothing but Malcolm-Jamal Warner from so many of these other celebrities that we all follow, from so many regular people that I just happen to be following. Oh, I met him once here. I met him, there. Blah 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 blah. He worked with my cousin on this, and they started posting all these, different episodes from things that he worked on that I never knew he worked on. I knew he had the Malcolm and Eddie, the Cosby Show, of course. A guest appearance here or there, but it's so much that this brother did. I knew he played an instrument. I didn't know he was as deep into poetry as he was. But it's one clip that I could have used, but again, I just didn't really feel like I just wanted to talk tonight and kind of get it off my chest, so to speak. He spoke very highly of his father and the way that his father raised him, on Black history and knowing who he was. And then was another clip where he said the greatest gift he can give to his daughter is letting her know who she is so the world doesn't tell her. And he was saying, when she was little, people say, oh, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. And then she started to develop the habit of saying, yes, I'm smart too. She would say, thank you, but yes, I'm smart too. And he knew he had did, the right thing. Let me get to some of y'all comments. Black Trucker Mafia in the building. What's going on, good bro? It's been a good minute. Yeah, Almond Eyes. Indeed, it was my black culture. Indeed, I had two parents. It was my black culture. Let me see. Brother Malika says RP to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Indeed. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. But hold up, let me see. Malika says, Kofa, you were just running a little late. That's why BT was suggesting calling you. Was I? Because my timer was down for 7:30. Oh, you talking about the the countdown when I usually started at like a minute 30, a minute. I appreciate y'all, man. That means y'all damn paying attention to the boy. Hold up.
Got it!
There we go.
Hotter than fish grease.
I appreciate that, Malika. Yeah, for the I usually start at a minute and a half, let the music play, especially if I have an actual song. Let me keep going. Felicia, sidebar for Felicia, what are your normal go-to smoke? I can't remember, we talked about it in here before. But yeah, that's why I changed. Salute, DG. That's why I changed the idea at the last minute. I was like, man, let me just talk, because the outpouring of love that Malcolm-Jamal Warner is getting should show black men that you don't have to be this rah-rah dude. I think I was telling BT earlier. What's going on, BT? What's going on, Cree Cree? I think I was telling BT right before the show. I was like, you knew who Malcolm-Jamal Warner was, but you didn't know what he had going on. He was very private with his private life. He was very private with his personal life. We didn't know what he was working on until he showed us. So with that, I would encourage a lot of brothers to continue to do the work that nobody gives you praise for. And unfortunately, this is, as much as we loved him when we saw him or when we did speak of him, I never heard anybody say anything disparaging about their brother. You have to be cognizant of how you're treating people in real life, not just what you present on screen, so to speak, for somebody like me, or what you present at work. Again, we never heard anything disparaging about this brother. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations where he's getting his flowers after he's passed. I know he got him while he was here, but just seeing this outpouring of love, because nobody talks about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He's one of the most successful, if not the most successful, child actor in history. No scandals, no drugs, no bunch of baby mamas, no crazy ass arrests, no suicide, no suicidal attempts. This brother lived like a day-to-day brother. He was just immensely talented, and we knew him from being on the small or big screen. Like I said, I didn't know he was as into poetry as he was. I knew he played an instrument. I know he was in a jazz band. That's actually where I ran into him at Stanley's. Again, around the corner, like y'all live by me. So it's a cigar spot called Stanley's. That's around the corner from me. Again, I'm over in the Camp Creek area. I don't mind doxing myself. The federal government has my DNA on file. I'm in the fucking Army.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
So Stanley's is like 5 minutes around me. There's another one where there's another building next to it called St. James Live, and they have a lot of cover bands that go there, a lot of jazz bands, old school R&B. They come there, they play, they sing or whatever. So I think he was performing there later on that night. So they stopped in and got a cigar. Again, I just spoke to the brother, said what's up, and kept it pushing. Little did I know, year after that, somebody I knew, BT, would be working with this brother. And BT is going to try to downplay it because BT is another one of those talented cats. He's just like, this just work. He's a day-to-day guy like that. He'll downplay it. But I was just telling him before you got back in, BT, I was like, damn, oh shit, this is where you guys recorded, Not All Hood, when you were on there having that conversation with them, when me and you were having our conversation about my son on wins and lessons. So I was really hopeful. I was like, oh shit, one day I'm going to end up running into Malcolm-Jamal Warner just, vicariously through BT, because of the work that he's putting in, I'm putting in, it would eventually happen. But unfortunately, it's not going to. So again, this is one of those brothers that is getting so many of his flowers after he's gone. And again, I know he got them while we were here. But again, to my point, he just did his job. You did not know Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't a Hollywood conversation. He was a dad. He was a husband, off to the side. When we saw him, it was like, oh shit, that's him. It wasn't no scandal. Like, people were genuinely happy. So that's what struck a chord with me when I thought about changing the live. And I had just texted BT as well. I just texted him. I was like, bro, I really don't feel like doing this live tonight. He thought I was talking about going live, period. I was really just talking about the Shannon Sharpe thing because it has been beaten into the ground. This is a big blow, I feel, for the black community. Fucking mosquito. Hold up. Well, yeah, one is Malcolm, two was Webster. Yeah, you never heard anything negative about him as well, as far as child actors go. Indeed. Keep getting y'all comments. Yeah, I'm gonna let Derek and Cree have that. Let me see. Boom. Go Creaky says, I remember when Malcolm-Jamal Warner had a poetry slam type of show on BET. I think it was BET in the early 2000s. That's how I got up on his poetry. It didn't last long, though. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and because it didn't last long, I thought it was just like, I didn't know he was really into it, and it was more of a BET thing. Then I like, they trying to make this brother into, spoken word artist, because, that was, like you said, early 2000s, so spoken word was gaining popularity, indeed. Let me see. Brother Malika says, the love that Malcolm is being shown, all brothers should respect and honor his character, achievements, talents, and accomplishments. He was an artist, son, brother, husband, father, and most of all, a man.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
That is indeed a fact, good brother. I couldn't have said it better myself. Cree says he never sold his soul. Indeed, sis. Felicia, as far as the cigars, we're gonna take a pivot. She says I like the Tabernacle and Wise Man by Foundation cigars. Plus, I like Hero Estella's uh, Blue Label. Also, Jamie Garcia by Drew Estate was your everyday. Oh, was your as an everyday smoke? Okay. Oh, you are not you are not a rookie at all, Felicia. But yeah, pivoting back to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, everything you guys said is what Felicia said on the screen. It's facts. It just really hit me, and it really put me in the thought process of going harder at this, going a little bit harder in my career, um, making sure I give others their flowers while they're here. Give them their cigars, as I say, give them their cigars while they can smoke them. Um, Anybody else want to share their thoughts? I really didn't mean to turn this into a Malcolm-Jamal Warner memorial because I didn't know the brother. Like I said, I just saw him in passing. I didn't know him, so I don't want to come off like this is that. Hold on. Mm, mm. I appreciate that, Malika. Malika says, FYI, Malcolm learned bass, a positive fuck it, Kofaism, when doing Malcolm and Eddie as a stress relief and an outlet. That is amazing. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Malika. A positive fuck it. This is what I'll be talking about when you find a positive fuck it. Some type of outlet. Uh-oh. Shrink the comment. FYI, Malcolm learned bass, a positive fuck it, when doing Malcolm and Eddie as a stress relief and an outlet. That's what I'll be talking about, brothers. When I'm talking about finding a positive fuck it, that's what I mean. Something that you enjoy, something that may challenge you, that may be difficult, where it forces you to have to focus on that thing. Um, One of the positive fuckers I found that really did get me through the pandemic was learning how to play chess. Not Bobby Fischer, like I told y'all before, but I got pretty good at it. I'm pretty decent at it. I played some people with some high level skills in chess, and one of the greatest compliments that I get from them is, "You made me think." It's been so long since somebody made me actually think. I like you be putting me in these different positions, and then they'll give me advice on what I should have done or what I could do next time. So that is a big plus, Malik. I appreciate that, bro. Finding a positive fuck it. I'm glad Malcolm found that positive fuck it. DRX says, I knew he was into music, but I didn't know he was into spoken word. Same with me. The brother was definitely talented, and he never bowed down any of that foolishness that was up in Hollywood. R.I.P. brother. Indeed, that is a fact. BT says, y'all got to see one of the recent episodes of Nah Podcast with Keisha Knight Pulliam. It was such a genuine moment. I've been meaning to go back and watch that. Now I definitely got to watch it. Kind of feel like shit because I've been meaning to watch it. BT, you got anything you want to share that you may or may not be sharing on your live? Because BT is going live in a few minutes too at 8:30. I'm assuming you're still going live, bro. But is there anything that you want to share about Malcolm while we're in here talking about him? Because I am going to pivot over to Shannon and just point out some things and just general talk overall. Let me see. What happened? Almond House, what happened? She said, I turned my back for 5 minutes. What? I don't even know what happened. Um, Cree says, BT, I had no idea he was even part of a podcast until he passed. Again, you didn't know about Malcolm until you knew about Malcolm. The brother would do his work consistently. Sometimes be right in your face. And then we'd be like, oh shit, did you see X, Y, and Z? Brother Malika says, when I was about 14, 15, me and my mom met him on 30th Street train station here in Philly while he was on the Cosby Show. A very nice and approachable brother. That's awesome. Well, like, are you in Philly? Are you from Philly? If that's the case, brother, I'll be seeing you soon. Since the Army's sending me up north, I'll be in Maryland, about 3 hours away from Philly. Uh, BT says, nah, no pun intended. All good, brother. We all will be tuning in for you to have that discussion tonight. I know you can have a deeper one than I had, but again, it kind of threw me off, man. Like, and I was like, damn, damn, damn. Like yesterday, when I saw it on IG, I hit up BT. Um, yeah, we talked about it briefly later, but it still don't feel real. Like it really, like I know, we always say that, but it really don't feel real because the dude, whenever you saw him, he was smiling, or anytime somebody spoke about him, it was positive. So it's just weird to have like a super positive brother gone. One thing I will say, I'm glad it wasn't to some type of senseless violence or some mental health issue that we didn't know about and all that. I hate that he's gone, period, but I'm glad it's not one of those because those are the typical stories. Like the brother was still working. He didn't just fall on hard times because he's not, he didn't transition from TV to movies well. He stayed consistent, he stayed relevant. Excuse me. He stayed consistent, he stayed relevant just by working. And that's one of the biggest things I think when scrolling online, it hit me because something that I've always said, I've never been the most talented, but nobody's gonna fuck with my work ethic. Nobody's gonna fuck with my work ethic. My ability to get up early, stay up late, and it doesn't always translate to those things. I had to learn how to take that time and narrow it down and focus into what I was doing. That's when I started making my strides in the military instead of, again, peeling off pieces of myself, giving to everybody else. Um, Damn, I just thought about it live. So that I may be back later on this week. But giving off pieces of myself, trying to help everybody else, when I hyper focus on myself, not in a selfish way, but to just be better, again, that positive fuck it that Malika mentioned, things started getting better for me. And I think because Malcolm was able to do that throughout his career, just consistently work, is why we got the person we got. Plus, the upbringing he had from his father, because when he talked about his father, it was all like, my dad made me do this. He's like, I'm 6'7". I'm in middle school. These kids are making fun of me. This is before the Cosby Show pops off, and you know, so he had a foundation. Remember, I always talk about that foundation. He had a foundation to stand on before anybody ever knew he was. So salute to his pops as well. Oops.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Malika says, yes, sir, born and bred. That's what's up, Malika. So, yeah, brother, me and you will be getting up soon enough. I need to know where the cheesesteaks are. So, yeah, we're going to make that happen. Felicia says, it's great, all these great milestones from Malcolm's life. Thanks for sharing, family. Indeed. And it was so many people like, oh, my God, I can't believe. And like it was saw a clip of him and Bobby Brown doing like a video countdown show, I guess back in the, early 90s or something. DRX, indeed, bro. That's old school parenting. He was speaking to the fact that his dad, I forgot the name of the book, but it was basically like a great American Negroes book. And he gave it to him and he would make him read, different passages and write a book report on it when he was a kid. Stuff that, like DRX said, that's old school parents. Some of our parents made us do it. Some of our grandparents made us do it. Shrink this up a little bit. Bring that down. Yeah, some of our grandparents made us do it. But it is what it is. Let me see. Brother Malika back at it. He says, let me bring this up. He says, I'm very glad he kept his personal life out of the public eye. It was beautiful that he was married and had a child. He just didn't have a professional legacy, but a personal, which is the best. Go ahead and hit you with that.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
I think I might have is that it? That's the wrong one. My bad. I was trying to give you a loud walk bar, Malika, but hit the wrong button. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to stick to the thumbnail, which I'm going to change now. But so I do appreciate you guys being in here and dealing with this this pivot that I took tonight. But it also goes to show you never know when, brothers. This man was out with his family Um, apparently, what's coming out, it was strong currents or something like that. So just keep your head on the swivel, man. Be able to learn how to watch your own six. Cause you just never know, bro. This is a, I'm not gonna hit y'all with a health lecture as I smoke my cigar and have a soda, but I do keep myself in relative good shape. So try to do that. Again, you sometimes when you get in the car, you got to drive for other people. People say I drive like an old lady. I don't think I do. I just always have my head on a swivel because I'm watching who's going to jump out in front of me. Especially if I had that after I had that accident back in 2020 during the pandemic. I had the green light making a turn. This dude just literally went around the traffic at the red light and blew through that red light and almost T-boned me. If I didn't react the way that I did, I may not be here. So that's not lost on me that it can just happen like that, bro. It really can just happen like that. So it is important that you leave somewhat of a legacy, whether it's through what you not just having children, but what you instill in your children and what you give to the world. And that world can be just as small as your friends and family. But again, you know how I am about the world in general. Go get on somebody's plane. Go get that passport. Go watch the sunrise in another hemisphere. Because you never know. Give yourself a legacy of enjoyment too. Enjoy this world that the Most High has given all of us. Don't just sit in your city. Don't just sit in your block. Just don't, sit in your state. Don't just sit in this country. Um, let me keep on going. DRX says, I had my dad, uncle, and grandfather in my life, and I'm blessed to have learned from this from those three strong kings. That's what these kids need nowadays. Indeed. Speaking of which, that's a good pivot to that bullshit that Barack Obama said. Um, I just remember 10 years ago, and this speaks to where brothers need to start trusting and thinking of themselves and believing their own truth. I'll say brothers have been talking about this push for the LGBT, you know, softer boys, softer parenting. Brothers have been trying to push back on that at least, I'll say, the last 10 years, probably more. We were always the uncles, the dads, those old school guys that raised us. We're in our 40s now, so I'm talking men in their 60s, 70s, and up. Stop doing that. You're going to make that boy soft. Stop allowing that. That's disrespectful. Stop letting him try you like that. And we got a lot of pushback from the sisters. Then the law got involved. Then politics and procedures got involved. And brothers were pushed to the side. When I say brothers, I'm talking about men in general. White, black, and I don't care. This is an American problem. Hyper focusing on black people. We are the ones that overly supported Obama. And I know if white people didn't vote for him, he wouldn't have got in office. But I mean, just in the this man can do no wrong, that was the black community. He was on the cover, I think, was it People magazine or something back then? Excuse me, where he was labeled the first gay president because he gave so many policies to the LGBT community. So now he comes out saying that little boys need a gay mentor as well as a straight mentor, or even if he has a father, you still need to find a gay man for this little boy to talk to. What the fuck are you talking about? Why? This is those sneaky ways they dispel what DRX just mentioned. I had my dad, uncle, and my grandfather. So many of these children already have male mentors in their life. But society, the black community in general, has done such a great job of removing black men as the head. Not abusive, not bitch do what I say, removing the man as the head of household. Now the black family is a mother and her kids. until she wants to put them out. Or two women and her kids. And they don't have to be lesbians. It can be two homegirls and they're helping raise each other's kids. Don't neither one of them have a man. And then as soon as something goes left, the first people they blame is the black men that weren't there. But the black men they had there, they act like they were crazy, abusive. Everybody was this narcissist, on and on and on. Let me get to some of y'all comments. Bam. I didn't even see BT's comment before I started on that. He says, facts, DRX, not this nonsense Obama talking about. I promise you, I did not see BT's comment. Even though it came right after DRX. But after I read that, that's what clicked in my mind to talk about that. That's facts, BT. No news in the building. Salute. I appreciate you being in here. Let me keep on scrolling. Brother Malika says, FYI, I'm the Magnificent video by Special Ed was directed by Malcolm. He appears in the video, and there's a link. I appreciate that, y'all. Felicia says, Obama's comments, it was definitely some BS, Kofa. Indeed. Malika says, fuck that bullshit.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
So, having been a father, having mentored in the black community, I'm gonna get to that, DRX. Knowing the sacrifices that married straight men have made, I've seen it with my own eyes. We have the statistics that black men are more involved fathers than our other racial counterparts. We still have a previous president, ruler of the free world, a black man, come out and throw this support behind the LGBT community. Not a thank you to the fathers that are there. Not a thank you to the mentors that are doing the work. And the people will say, oh, well, just because he's gay, he doesn't mean he can't show him how to be a man. I've told y'all 100 times this story. Get the fuck out of here, fly. I've told y'all this story. My uncle will tell you, would have told you, RP to him, he was the original queen. Like, this is my mama's friend that she grew up with back in the, 60s and 70s. So he was always the little boy that was jumping rope, what they called a sissy back then. And he would tell you that shit. He was a foster parent in Birmingham, Alabama. Because he was a man, gay or not, because he was a man, they would only give him boys to foster parent. So many of them boys have came back and thanked him for turning them into the men that they are. And I'm talking about heterosexual, upright, married with children, been in the army, became police officers. All what you would think a traditional man was is what he produced as a gay man. So I'm not saying it couldn't happen. What I am telling you, even him as a gay man would not allow those little boys who were confused or called themselves bisexual or were gay or whatever the fuck they identified with, because he was still mentoring when a lot of this stuff started to become popular in the 2000s. Those same boys that would come in his house that he was being a foster parent of, they were not allowed to wear dresses. They were not allowed to wear makeup. The ones that he caught doing that shit, him, this gay man, effeminate, he still, dressed like a man, but you could tell by the mannerisms, his voice and all that shit. He would tell them straight up, this is not the life you want. If you gay, be gay. If you bisexual, be bisexual. Do not play with this life. This is not the life you want. Because he was alluding to, the drug use and people that get out there and want to experiment and they don't bounce back from that shit. He would tell them, this isn't the life you want. And as long as you in my house, you going to be a man. You came in here a man, you going to leave out one. You're not going to be wearing no dresses and no makeup. You're not going to be doing that weird shit. I bring this up every time we have these conversations about the LGBT community because so many black men warned about this becoming what it is now, where you can have transgender people going into elementary schools and telling kids that boys can have babies or girls have penises. This is literally where we're at. This is the type of stuff that we're warning against. And like I always say, the horse is out the barn and has ran down the dirt road. This is where we're at. This is why Obama is comfortable saying this type of stuff out loud. And you have onesie twosie here, there, LGBT people coming out saying, I'm all for our rights. We need to be able to marry who we marry. Don't put this shit in front of the kids. They've said it themselves.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
And it became so open that, you know, they started putting flags on their porches or whatever. So back to my uncle, RP, he had a new young gay couple move into his neighborhood. One of the first things they did after they moved in was put up the rainbow flag. He took his old ass down there, gay OG, walked down there, don't know these people from nothing, knocked on that door. They came to the door. Y'all need to take that flag down. Baby, we don't advertise. The next day, that flag was down. Had a conversation with them and explained that shit. The next day, that flag was down. See, when people said, I don't got no problem with you being gay, but stop pushing on. Nobody's pushing it on you. And then, guess what? They pushed it on you through policy. They started allowing these people to come into these schools without the parents' notification. Then a video goes viral, the parents in an uproar, and the school is like, well, it's our policy. We support everybody. Circling back to what I talk about, brothers, you got to learn to find a positive fuck it with a lot of this stuff. The things you're saying are not archaic. They are not misogynistic. They are not abusive, neglectful in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You have to be able to trust yourself, continue with your narrative, because again, we've seen it work so many times. Again, RIP to a brother, you know, what a positive father, positive household produced in Malcolm-Jamal Warner. You have to be confident in this shit to be able to say it out loud, just as confident as they are about spewing this bullshit like Obama said. If they can talk how the fuck they want, so can you. That doesn't make you a narcissist or an abuser or a whatever the fuckaphobe. It does not make you that. Be confident in these old school ways that we need to start bringing back. I'm starting to see more conversations and having more actionable items about it. And believe it or not, Passport Bros, Red Pill, men-centric content, that's a part of it. Like the women burn their bras in the street, brothers are getting passports, and we gonna go figure it out. Even if the brother takes an L over there. God bless, he doesn't die when he goes across that water or gets set up on some bullshit like that. But more and more brothers are starting to become curious about this and take advantage of these opportunities that we do have. Let me get to y'all comments real quick. DRX said that bullshit message he threw out there definitely had agenda written all over it. And you had the Predator and King Hippo, King Hippo co-signing to that shit. Indeed. Let me see. BT says, Obama is a plant because I know gay men that are assholes. Pause.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
I do have this one ready, I think. So, nope, never mind. We're going to keep on rolling. Felicia says the Magnificent video was directed by Malcolm-Jamal. Wow. Yeah, it's just, I didn't know. BT says, Kofa, tell the story the gay brother said to me about about the Beyonce concert in Atlanta. So y'all know Beyonce came here. I got it, BT. DG says, I'm going to tell it right before BT get out of here because we're going to slide too. They gave out pride shirts at my daughter's school when she was 10. I called the principal and cussed his ass out.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
That's crazy, DG. That's what I'm talking about. That type of stuff right there. That type of stuff right there. You don't teach the boys how to pull out a chair for a girl, how to ensure that she walks on the inside of the curb when you're walking with her. You don't give her none of these historical reasons why there was chivalry and in masculinity. But you can have a trans person, a cross-dresser, come in and talk to elementary school children, to include kindergartners. You can have books like Johnny Has Two. Let's see.
These last $2.
Bruh, I wish Auntie was right here, right now to hear that shit that Obama said, bro. I wish she was here. I appreciate that $2, bro. Look, Cree says, "What the hell? Yeah, that's crazy. Derek, that's crazy." DRX says, "I knew something was going down when I saw the White House covered with the pride flag."
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Indeed. So back to BT's. Oh well, I missed one. Oh, bingo. That's another point. Thank you, BT. Everyone I know that's gay don't rock with the TQIA plus in the acronym. It's too late. The horse is out the barn and has ran down the dirt road. This is why you have people that are, God, what is it? They call themselves MAPs, minor attracted persons.
Nasty bitch.
Because you can add on all these different genders, you can add on all these different sexual orientations. So now you have people that are attracted to children that have their own acronym and consider this is why some people are homophobic. It's not for no reason. If you're a grown ass man, you identify as gay, and you're attracted to children or young people, that's why people are hesitant to have their kids around gay people. And not just men, women too. It's been plenty of women that have come out and their first sexual experiences was with a woman. It's grown men that come out and their first sexual experience was with a woman. There's a lot of female child molesters. There's a lot of lesbian female child molesters. We love talking about the old dude picking up the girl from high school. We don't talk about these older lesbians that be doing the same shit. Everybody be just as fucking quiet about it because you're not supposed to talk about the LGBT. BT just did a live on how you can't criticize black women. We might need to do a live on how you can't criticize gay people. You can't even question them. It's a reason why there's so much pushback against this. And again, those in the chat, brothers specifically, that does not make you a homophobe. But let me get to this story before BT get out of here. So BT, he's married. They hang out, with different married couples or people that are coupled or whatever. So him and the wife go to a game night. Shout out to Mama Lex.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
I don't have my G.R.O.W.T.H button. I don't got the stream deck out here. Shout out to Mama Lex. So they go to this party. Everybody's talking about the Beyonce concert. It was 4 days here. Long story short, there's a gay dude there. I think he's there with his boyfriend. Correct me if I'm wrong, BT. But a gay dude there, he's like, ooh, 4 days. I went out there the first day. I couldn't do it. It was too many gays.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
This is a gay man saying it's too many gays to be around because them gays pretty much be doing too much. So even gay people don't like gay people all the time. Because you know why? Because they're people. It amazes me that gay people want to be considered as people. We're alive too. I exist. That don't mean you're a good person. BT just said in the chat, I know plenty of gay people. Some of them are assholes.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
I'm going to keep on going. Some of them are fucking assholes. They are. I've met them. You've met them. But we're not supposed to say anything because then you're a homophobe. Fuck out of here. I meet straight people that are assholes. I meet gay people that are assholes. You think you think somebody's supposed to treat you special because you take it up the ass. Get the fuck out of here. Some of these lesbians be real beside themselves. Like that bitch really think she got a dick because she can strap it on. I was going back and forth with one chick one time. And I said, you know what? I'm not finna argue with nobody that got to put their dick on.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
This ain't gonna happen. Let's keep on going. Oh, Felicia laughing at that. Burning Mac. Indeed. It's been a minute since I played that. DRX says, when I was a cop in NOLA, it was like gang war on St. Anne in the French Quarter. Real gays versus the LGBTQXYZ plus minus hashtag $ fighting. That acronym, boy, you stupid as shit. You stupid as shit. Oh, between the real gays versus the LGBTQXYZ plus minus hashtag $ fighting all day. The real ones couldn't stand them. Oh,
Got
shit.
it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Let me see if I can hit you with Kevin. Let me see if that worked.
But, you know, I could be all wrong. Maybe I'm just full of shit. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
I hit the wrong button down. Oh, shit. Oh. Let me see my other. That's crazy as hell, bro.
They squabbling out there now. Yeah.
Oh, shit. DRX, you got the laugh of the night, bro. Shit. Oh, shit. BT says they used to be this gay couple that used to fight every week in the parking lot. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. BT says, for example, Brittany Griner is an asshole. Malika says, ain't that the gay calling the kettle?
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
Oh, BT says, I'm out. I got to get to my live. All good, brother. We about to slide over there. DRA says, Kofa, dog, I'm serious. Them fuckers was going at it like Bloods and Crips over there. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. And you know what? I saw a documentary when the LGBT thing really started to kind of take off. I won't say it was the late 2000s, maybe like 2010. This documentary, I promise you, it was on PBS of all things. Like the channel that used to air Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Lamb Chop Sing Along and Barney and Sesame Street. PBS. They had this documentary and they were at this gay pride picnic back then. And they started interviewing like gay and lesbian people. And they were talking about how they didn't want to allow the T. At the time, it was just the T because it was just LGB. They didn't want to allow the T to latch on to their movement of lesbian, gay, and bisexual. Because either you're a man or you're not. Either you like men or you don't as a man or as a woman. You can't say you're both genders and then pick and choose what they were giving pushback. I think this shit aired once. I never saw it again, bro. That's crazy, bro. Look, DRX talking about DG's comment earlier about his daughter's school. He said, man, that's crazy, and they don't see any of this as a problem. That's why spaces like this are important for us to get the truth out, whether you agree or disagree with Manosphere, Men-Centric, Red Pill Talk. I don't care. Even if you don't want to be attached to it. You say you're adjacent to it, or your talking points are similar. I don't care. I really don't. There's something going on in this country that has been going on, and a lot of what brothers have been talking about for decades, of the softening of our boys, the erasure of masculinity and manhood, almost has come to a head. But it's enough of us fighting, and this is why it's important for us to speak up. Some people say, don't go back and forth with them, don't argue with them. I feel like that a lot of days, but at the same time, I have to remember that's how these motherfuckers got away with it for so long.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease.
They were able to get away with a lot of this stuff because a lot of men were quiet. You were worried about losing your job. You were worried about not getting the job. You were worried about how your family was going to feel. You was worried about how your old lady was going to feel. You took everybody else, like men do, into consideration. Now, what we have to be careful of, and I'm going to end it with this, is not to go overboard and become those neglectful, abusive people that they already want to paint us as. There is a balance to getting this masculinity done, and there's none more so than standing on business, standing on your square, firm on your opinions, and then letting them see the results. Because a lot of them are starting to see the results now. A lot of these women that were on our heads the last 10, 15 years, now their sons are going through it. Now their sons are losing those positions at their job. Now their sons can't get hired on even in these basic roles. And it's not because the boy is dumb. It's not because he lacks the education. Now they're having these issues with girls or young women. Now that young boy is 19, 20, he got to go in and out of court. And grandmama hasn't seen her grandbaby. Now the roles are starting to reverse. These women have become the older women, and now their sons are the byproduct of the bullshit they was on. Now their sons are the son husbands. They can't get out the house, and she wonder why she don't have a man. We can go on and on about this for days. So, brothers, stand firm on your square. Keep sharing this knowledge, whether it's me, another channel. Have these conversations, like I say, outside of YouTube and social media. Stand firm on what you got going on inside of your households, whether it's a baby mama, your mama, wife, ex-wife, your kids, whatever the fucking case. Stand firm on your opinions. Execute. Do the work and execute. Show these young men what true masculinity looks like. Because true masculinity is soft when it needs to be soft. It's hard when it needs to be hard. Any brother that tell you he got to go 110 all the time, he's going to experience burnout. And that's when we get a lot of brothers checking out early, either through health issues or going through the self-checkout line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me get to y'all last few comments. I think I got everybody. Yeah, DRX with the last word. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys dealing with the pivot tonight. I appreciate BT for the super chat. I don't know if anybody hit me with Cash App. Again, I'm using my phone, so I can't check my Cash App because it'll cut the camera off. But we're getting ready to slide up out of here. Make sure you go over to Broken Traditions. I think he's going to be giving, some lessons he learned from working with Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So we're going to go over there and support the brother. So again, thank you guys. Once again, I've been your humble host, Kofa. I know I didn't give the intro as normal in the beginning, but I've been your humble host, Kofa, Kofa, not coffee, not Kufu, not Kofi, or any variation thereof. Kofa rhymes with sofa. Easy to say, easy to spell. This has been Growth Talk Entertainment, where growth stands for gentlemen reaching our wealth through healing. And this is where we help men find a positive fuck it. I'm going to leave you like always. Mike, we about to get up out of here. I'm going to leave you like always. I love you. Ain't shit you can do about it. You matter. You're not crazy. Make better choices. Peace, y'all.